You've been known to run the numbers on your operation, so try these on for size. That's the number of tracks on the all-new Fendt 1100 Vario MT. That's how many years of Gold Star coverage you get. That's the percent of fuel you can save with our low-rev engine. That's the number of seconds it took you to realize you need a Fendt. This is the 1100 Vario MT, and every number adds up to a new era of growing bold.
Well, with the Gold Star Care on the 930, it's 5 years, 4,000 hours. They do everything. They come change the oil. They take care of everything. With the little Fendt, I believe it's 3 years, and they do the same thing. So that takes a lot of pressure off me. I don't have to worry. Well, the tractor will call and tell them that it needs service. I don't even have to worry about that. But that takes, a lot of the cost. Any of these other tractors, when you do service, by the time you buy filters and oil, and if you count your labor for anything, you're over $1,000 every service. Well, if you got a service tractor a couple times a year, a couple $1,000, that's a big change, or a big difference. So I like that.
My name is Ed Robbins, and we've been farming here doing the hay business since 2008. And so we did this for 13 years so far. We started out basically doing our backyard because we didn't like mowing the grass. So I said, well, I could just bale this. And from there we've moved to, we're now doing 590 acres of hay this year. And we're going to expand another again next year. We have that lined out. And so we've been enjoying the hay business. It's different. We're in corn and bean country, right? Here in Victoria. So we're a little bit different from all our neighbors, but we're enjoying it. I told my brother to, he was up visiting my sister, and I said, why don't you just go over there and look, let's see what they have. And the thought crossed my mind that, you know, if I buy this tractor, hey, you know, it's going to last us for 20 years, and our bodies are wearing out. So, in the 5 years service program where they're going to change the oil and the filters, that's worth a lot, all the parts and equipment. So I know, and I do the financing part of the operation, I know exactly what that machine is going to cost me. And they had such a great lease program. I can't say enough about it. It is a fantastic program because that's what sealed the deal. I took one look at that and I was like, I would be a fool not to take this deal, because I basically, for what it was going to cost me to fix my older equipment, I'm getting this all new with a service plan for less money. It's not really, when you sit down and you look at it, it's not that different. It's not that different from running that older piece of equipment that I know what I've got to do to just making the jump. So for us, it made sense to make the jump because now it's, I know what I'm going to spend, and and it just works better too. And the fuel consumption is just phenomenal. In fact, on this one and the 930 that we have, we were running an older Massey, which I thought didn't use that much fuel. In fact, it was a 2007, and it 583, which is a very small tractor, and you know, but it didn't have the engine management system that the Fendt have. And I'm literally burning less fuel with a tractor that's twice or three times the horsepower. In fact, the 930 is more like 4 times the horsepower than I was with that 84 horse older Massey. Now, you know, at the end of the day, you don't feel like you've been beat all day long. It's like, wow, I actually feel like I can get out of the seat, up and down the steps, and I'm not stiff. So, it makes a big difference, and it's worth it. And we did get some other quotes, and everything comes standard on the thing. You know, there's a lot of things when you sit down, it's kind of difficult, I think, to compare apples to apples, right? Because you really got to go down line by line by line, and when you do that, you find out a lot of competition is either not there, or it's not standard, or it's an additional cost. So I would say go check it out. It's a phenomenal machine, and the other thing I didn't mention, quiet. It is so quiet in that cab. You know, it's just a pleasure, and it rides great. I mean, it rides great. Controls are nice. I've got no complaints. If we have any problem, I just call them. I don't have to deal with it. It's easy for me to sit down, and when I do my costing, you know, you're always guessing, right? It's a best guess. So I feel like I have a much better best guess with this equipment than I do with the equipment I had. And honestly, when I go back and I look at what I'm spending, what I know I'm spending on the equipment I have, and what this is going to cost me with the service program. Now, this is a little bit different on the 500 series than the 900 series. But even still, you know what you're going to spend here. And but yeah, go try one out, because they're doing everything that we wanted to do, and it's so far it's been a pleasant surprise every time I've turned around. I cannot say enough about it. And we've been working with Racing McCartney since we started in 2000. I bought my first tractor there in 2007, and then we've been going back ever since. They're there when I call them, and I can't complain about that. Not had any issues. They've always worked with us. If we have an issue, we call them. You know, you can't expect somebody to be there every time, you know, in a very short period of time, but we've never had a problem where we've been left hanging. And when you're in the hay business, you're always, you know, you're doing things when the weather, just like any other part of farming. And most of our breakdowns usually occur at like 1:15 on a Saturday after everybody's closed. But AC McCartney's been there for us, and I can't complain about it at all. We've always got good service, and if we've had issues, we just call them and they work with us. So I've been very happy about it.
Takes a certain kind of person to farm this land. There are the kind who say, this is the way we've always done things. Then there are those fearless ones who see every seed, acre, and piece of equipment as an opportunity to upend expectations. Those are the ones who don't just have a farm, but run a business. Who treat every row tilled, hour logged, and crop harvested like their bottom line depends on it. Because it does. So they don't stand around hoping for the best. Instead, they run the best in the field. Like machines that don't just meet the demands of the job, but beat them. The kind that put an emphasis on performance, not paint color. And ones that can be trusted to be there for the long haul. Those are the ones who turn to Fendt. Because every day, every season is out there for the taking. But only for those who are ready to grow bold.
I don't think there's anything else in this world I'd want to do than be a farmer. After we got it and all the neighbors seen what we were using last fall,
definitely a head turner.
It was a head turner, and the ones that would ask, they would ask what we liked about it. Well, hi there. This is Rod Houston right here, and this is my son Jason and my daughter-in-law Taylor. You're in my home here that I've lived in for practically my whole life. I was born and raised here on the home farm right here in Roseville. I started farming with my dad back in 1978. And that's all I ever wanted to do my whole life was farm. Got out of high school and went to the Dwayne Houston Knowledge Center for my learning on how to farm, and really enjoyed it. Farm around 2,000 acres, and we've got cattle, cow-calf, finish operation, not real big, about 100 head. We had a versatile 550 Delta Track. It was an okay tractor. Rode a little rough on the end rows, but had plenty of power.
Very heavy.
Very heavy. It was not a tractor you want to use in the springtime because it did leave a very positive footprint in the fields. It was mainly a tractor you'd want to use in the fall for heavy tillage. Chad, our salesman, brought out a Fendt in the spring. It was the second Fendt we tried. We'd had a 1050 brought out a couple of years ago in the fall that we used and just fell in love with it, and he got the idea that we needed to have one, so he started working on us in the spring, brought out a
936.
Yeah, 936.
Yeah.
That we used on our soil finisher, and got pretty interested in it. And he came back to us then after spring and had this 1042 sitting on the lot, and got us to come up and look at it, and we got pretty interested and started throwing figures around, and everything kind of fell in place, and it came to live with us back in August. Probably was the biggest selling point was McCartney's willingness to stand behind their product. If them and AGCO can believe in something that well, that, you know, we might as well try it too. So I like most about the Fendt.
Fuel. Saved on fuel.
Definitely on fuel. Normally we'd go through 300 to 400 gallons a day in that versatile, with that Cummins, but this Fendt would it'd run a whole entire day on a tank of fuel and still have plenty left over when you quit for the day.
Yes.
You can get in it, and once you get past the intimidation of the electronic features that are on it, it's a very easy tractor to run. It's got the cruise control, everything's done. You can put it in pedal mode and do everything with it. You don't have to worry about switching to a turtle to a rabbit to go down the road. You just hit that pedal and you're flying.
No gears to go through.
No
The
gears.
CVT.
And what's great about it is we're pulling the same fall tillage tool. We got an 870 Case IH ripper that we pulled with the Versatile, and we hooked onto that, and I probably raised the depth just maybe an inch from what we had been pulling it, so we could just get a little more ground speed. But you put that thing in the ground, and it's funny to watch the tractor just come to a stop at the end, and then all of a sudden watch the power go to the wheels and just start turning, and then all of a sudden you're going down through the field 6.5 miles an hour. Punch the cruise and the GPS, and you just sit back and try to figure out the radio then. So what we really liked was the service plan on it. We don't even have to take a wrench or change the oil or the filters. It's all taken care of by McCartney's through their service plan that AGCO has on this tractor. That was probably one of the biggest selling points, was that we don't have to do anything to it for several years, I guess. You do anything in agriculture, you just take and jump in with both feet and have faith. So.
I'll admit, I'm not easily impressed. But controlling just about everything but the weather from right here gets a nod of appreciation. Looks like this new Fendt 700 Gen 6 just raised my expectations.
in Tremont, Illinois, and we've got an exciting look at our inside of our Fendt series tractor. One thing that's relatively new on our Fendt line is we've got a tire inflation system. It's we call it VariGrip, and really what that means for the operator, he can adjust the air pressure for each case that really how he's going to use the tractor. So we know that if we go and set an air pressure it's good for road, so it's safe for road, as it's going to give you longer tire life, things like that, that same air pressure is not necessarily the best air pressure for when you're in the field. Conditions are different, speeds are different. So what our goal was to design a system where we give the best air pressure, best tire performance for all conditions. So how it works is inside the cab, inside the monitor, there's a switch where the operator can flip from field to road. So when he gets out in the field, unfolds his planner, the tire pressures will automatically drop to get that proper air pressure. So what that really does for us is it's going to give us a better footprint, better traction, and at the end of the day, it's going to give a better yield because we're going to have less of a negative agronomic impact caused with the crop.
If I have to pick between the Deere and the Fendt, I'm definitely going to get in the Fendt for sure.
Everything was coming through, we're getting the data we needed, and everything worked flawless.
They've been very reliable. I just think of quality, I really do. I had heard a little bit about the Fendt lineup and what was coming down the pipe, and that was really the start of it. I really wanted to just know more about it, and I wanted something that I felt was going to be equal in quality to John Deere. We've got a friend that runs a lot of Fendts, and he had nothing but good things to say about them. And when you buy a tractor like this, you can't really afford to have hiccups in certain times of the year, so it's nice to have quality machines.
Obviously, fuel is a huge cost for us. We've tracked it over acres, and it ends up being about a half a gallon less on fuel than what a Deere would be. And fuel's not cheap. It adds up in a hurry.
When I first get in it to take off, I got to hit the throttle and look at the RPMs to make sure it's running. It's just eerily quiet in there.
The fuel economy has been very good, 25 to 30% better fuel efficiency over our last tractor. We think we've had the best quality with John Deere Green, but maybe not. When I think of Fendt, I think of workmanship and quality. A lot of people that took pride in what they do, because we don't want to go backwards on quality.
I'm glad more guys are trying them and they're getting out there, because it's just a different animal. They work well, and I think everybody likes them.
Well, make sure you don't drive one, or otherwise you'll buy one. Okay.
I'm here today with our Fendt 16-row Momentum Planner, and I want to talk about our load logic system that's available on our Fendt Momentum Planner. What load logic is, it's a couple things. It's a automated weight transfer system. It's also an automated tire inflation system. So we're going to talk about the weight transfer system first. In any planter, when you load up seed and fertilizer on it, majority of the weight's going to be in the center. What load logic does is it reads how much weight's on each axle. So I've got a smart pin on each axle, on every wheel module. It's reading how much weight's on it. What load logic does is it takes that reading and it can balance the weight across the planter. It does that through our hydraulic system and our wing transfer system. So as I go through the field, it's automatically going to adjust the weight and keep it balanced across the planter. So what's that mean for the operator? It really means less compaction in the center, less pinch rows, and really less negative agronomic impact to the grower, to his yields. The other thing it does that ties with that is I mentioned the tire inflation system. So once again, we have weight pins. We know how much weight and air pressure is in each tire, and we're going to vary that pressure just like our weight transfer system is doing to give the best agronomic impact. So when we're going through the field, our tire pressure is going to be very low, down to 15 psi in each tire. But guess what? When I fold that up, it's going to move the air from the wings, from the Fendt tractor, put more air in the center section, so that when I go down the road, I can run at my higher road speeds. I can have a safe transportability of the planter at those higher speeds.
Leading off the Fendt product line is one of the quickest, most maneuverable, hardest working machines around, the Fendt 500. Weighing in at under 15,000 pounds and producing 124 to 163 engine horsepower. This is the smallest tractor in the Fendt line. But don't let the size fool you. It's a Fendt through and through. Using technologies commonly found only on larger tractors, this easy-to-use machine instantly makes any farm or fleet more efficient and more productive. Options include pneumatic cab suspension, dual-line air trailer brakes, and a wide range of front implement connection points. It's time for a tractor that doesn't sacrifice muscle for agility. It's time for the Fendt 500. This is one of the most popular models in the entire Fendt lineup, the Fendt 700. With a hefty 237 horsepower engine, this versatile tractor packs a huge punch in the field and on the road. Even the integrated front loader is breakthrough, with built-in sensors that prevent wasting feed and overloading trailers. Featuring Fendt's award-winning continuously variable transmission. Plus, a standard front axle suspension and standard cab suspension, delivering unmatched pulling performance without compromising operator comfort. Sure, you could settle for a pretty good tractor, but that's not who you are. It's not who we are either. It's time for the Fendt 700. Low weight, high payload, powerful versatility. This is the Fendt 800, the machine that continues to wow critics all over the world by surpassing the capabilities of other similarly sized tractors. With the industry's highest power-to-weight ratio, the 800 is the perfect machine for professional hay and hauling applications. Specifically designed to handle loads so large, others in its class simply can't compete. Available in 4 models from 220 to 287 horsepower and featuring Fendt's famous stepless Vario CVT transmission, pneumatic cab system, standard dual-line air trailer brakes, and standard front axle suspension for unmatched handling and comfort. In the field, on the road, and everywhere in between. If it's time for you to gain an edge on your competition, it's time for the Fendt 800. Proudly making its North American debut this year, this purpose-built machine is the ultimate row crop tractor, the Fendt 900. An extraordinary workhorse boasting an impressive power plant, producing between 296 and 415 horsepower. You can't help but be impressed by the Fendt Vario Grip tire pressure inflation system and be wowed by the head-turning implement connectivity of up to 113 gallons of hydraulic flow per minute, giving the 900 the power to operate even the largest implements of today and tomorrow. Like every Fendt tractor, this amazing machine is setting new standards for efficiency, for productivity, for comfort. And it's all supported by a warranty and service program that ensures uptime all the time. The Fendt 900, a tractor whose time is now. It's time for a tractor you can use 365 days a year. Our global award winner, Tractor of the Year in 2016, Machine of the Year in 2017, our reigning champion, the Fendt 1000. Built to provide maximum power and use less fuel to do it, holding not 1, not 2, but 3 records for the most fuel-efficient tractor to be ever tested at the DLG laboratory in Germany. Big, immensely powerful, and full of firsts, revolutionizing the entire industry with its high torque, low rev engine, and the industry's first single-range CVT transmission utilizing 2 hydraulic motors. Every day, this amazing machine continues to exceed the expectations of professional growers all over the world, securing its place as the planet's largest fixed-frame tractor offering up to 517 horsepower and weighing in at over 50,000 pounds. If you haven't experienced this tractor for yourself, it's time you did. It's time for the Fendt 1000. It's time to revolutionize the way you harvest with the all-new Fendt Ideal Combine. Featuring the Streamer 6.0 with a hefty 485 bushel grain bin and an unmatched 6 bushel per second unload rate. So you spend more time harvesting and less time unloading. Top of the line, razor sharp technology like the Ideal Harvest System provides unprecedented automation and visualization, giving operators more control and more information than they ever had before. Winner of the prestigious Agritechnica Silver Medal, the AE50 Award, and the Red Dot Award. This is the Fendt Ideal Combine. It's time to harvest better.